Right? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of Witch Weekly, your weekly installment of all things Harry Potter and Potter related. I am one of your hosts, Marissa. I reside in the beautiful United States of America, and I'm joined by my Australian counterpart, Mel.
Hey there, everyone. Oh, am I meant to say g'day, mate? G'day, mate.
I bet that'll make some of our audience very excited. But most of our audience is probably very excited in general because the new trailer came out for Fantastic Beasts Dose, The Crimes of Grindelwald. You watched it, yes?
Oh, yeah, I watched it. I was like, I don't care that I'm almost out of data on my phone. I will look at this.
This is very important things.
Actually, I lied. That's what I thought at first. Then I looked at how little data I had and went, I can watch this when I get to work and use their Wi-Fi.
Yep. Always resourceful, Mel.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
It looks great. Like, I know everyone's complaining, saying, how come the auras were apparating into Hogwarts? You can't apparate into Hogwarts. That's not what bothered me. Do you want to know what bothered me?
I can think of what it might be, but I want you to tell me.
Why is Dumbledore in the Defense Against the Dark Arts room? He's a Transfiguration teacher.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't think that automatically. No.
What do you think was going to annoy me?
The fact that he's in a three-piece suit.
So?
Dumbledore is... They always talk about how, wizards aren't really adept at dressing like muggles. Why is he in a three-piece Armani suit, is my question.
Because Dumbledore's got style.
But he had the style of wearing a velvet suit, and that's what I wanted to see.
Movies have to be glamorous.
I understand, but that was what bothered me. But I did not notice that it was the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. I didn't pay that close of attention, I guess.
See, my whole thing with the movies, they're always dressed nicely in muggle clothes. You like, in the books they talk about how weirdly and wonderfully they're dressed. In the movies, they've always been dressed quite nicely.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
Yeah, but I did not notice that he was in the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, so I'm gonna have to go watch it again. And
yes. That's what irked me. I'm like, maybe the spell that stops you apparating wasn't in place at that time for whatever reason. There's explanations. I need to know why Dumbledore is using the Defense Against the Dark Arts room.
And to be fair, they didn't apparate directly into Hogwarts. They apparated to, like, on the bridge.
Yeah.
So...
No, I think the spell is for the entire Hogwarts grounds. Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. But I didn't automatically think that was an issue until people started, like hardcore complaining about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was just my thing.
Sorry, dying.
I'm excited to see Jude Law play Dumbledore.
Me too.
I'm not 100% sure. Like, I've seen him in a few things, but not enough to know if he can pull off something like that. But we've never really seen Dumbledore younger, so we don't really know what he would have been like prior to him being super, super old.
Yeah.
It did bother me that Jude Law doesn't have, like, auburn hair and a really long beard. Well, because that's what we were told Dumbledore had.
We knew he had auburn hair, but at this point in time, his long beard isn't necessarily required. He's still youngish.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
Sure.
I'm eager to see.
I just figured he had a long beard from forever, so that could just be my misconception.
Yeah. I'm eager to see where this goes.
Mm-hmm. and I'm glad that Jacob is back in the story.
Yes, he's back.
He makes me happy.
And so
And
is Queenie.
yes, and of course Tina's there.
Yep.
And going back to Jacob real quick, the part of the trailer where Newt is like, Jacob goes, "Are we going? Are you going?" And he said, "No, we're going."
Yes, they're off
And
somewhere.
Jacob's being all excited. I was like, that is everyone who's watching this right now.
Yes, they're going to Paris, or they're going to be in Paris at some point, because Yora's going to see Dumbledore and are like, we understand that Newt Scamander is in Paris under your orders. And Dumbledore's like, well, if you know anything about Newt, he doesn't take orders.
Mm-hmm. But why Paris? What's going on in Paris?
Hmm.
Isn't Grindelwald in custody in America?
Yeah, no.
I have many questions, and we don't have any answers.
What we do know from the Harry Potter books was he was causing a lot of trouble in Europe.
Yes.
So I'd say he's moved
never
back.
really in Britain, so I guess that would make sense with Paris.
Yes.
It's all very strange.
That's going to be in cinema while you're here, I believe.
Ooh.
Well, you're in Australia, so...
Yeah, because it comes out beginning of November, right?
I don't know when in November, but it'll be out during November, yes.
Well, yes, and I'm there at the very end of November.
Yeah, so I'll still be there.
Mark it down.
Yep. The witches
go to the movies.
Yeah, see if we can drag Jess along.
Ooh. It's all very exciting. But yes. I was excited to see it, and it looks great. I'm excited to learn more about that whole thing.
Definitely.
And seeing Hogwarts again just kind of made my heart skip a beat.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, the Harry Potter theme plays at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, pack my bags and call me Harry, I'm going back to Hogwarts.
Yes, it pulled on all of the heartstrings. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh yes, they have us wrapped around their little finger.
They know how to get us in there.
Yep. Speaking of Hogwarts, I believe our topic for the day is wizarding schools.
You would be correct in thinking that. So we've been told by J.K. Rowling and on Pottermore that there are apparently 11 long-standing wizarding schools around the world. But we only get information for 7 of them.
Yeah.
We were very confused because we were like, there's only 7 listed, but it says 11. There's a discrepancy. There are 4 we don't know anything about. So, normally, on the show we start out with a question, but we're actually going to save the question until closer to the end of the episode, and you will understand why when we get to it.
Yep.
So are you ready to start this journey of the different wizarding schools around the world, Mel?
Oh, I was born ready. Pack my bags and find me a school.
All right. The first one we're going to talk about, and I am going to apologize in advance for any of these names that I totally butcher, because they're all in different languages that I don't speak.
We don't forgive you.
Sorry in advance. The first one we're going to talk about, I'm going to try, is Mahotokoro in Japan.
I think it Mahotokoro.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with Mahotokoro. Because it sounds like an anime character saying it. Mahotokoro.
Oh, Mel.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be an anime character.
That does not surprise me in the least. I'm not at all surprised. It's all good.
It all makes sense, doesn't it?
It all comes together. Little pieces of Mel come together every week for me.
Oh wait, so I just noticed it has a pronunciation.
Does it? Where?
At the top of
on the wiki?
No, on Pottermore. Mahotokoro. So it's MAH dash hoot O Mahokoro.
All
Mahu
right.
or Koro?
Maybe we'll just have you pronounce all of the names. How
I'm
about
gonna
that?
have fun.
So this one is in Japan, as we said. Says it's a ornate jade palace. Sits on top of a volcanic island, Minami Iwo or Hima. Do they pronounce J's in Japanese? I don't know.
Mm.
So it's on top of a huge island in a big old palace made of jade, which is green, right?
Yes.
Okay, big old green palace. So it gives us why we should go there. Apparently, it's not a boarding school. You don't live there. You just go to school there, and you're transported there every day on a flock of giant birds. You climb on the back of one of them and it takes you to school, which I think is pretty freaking cool.
I thought
And
that
and if you like, go ahead.
I thought that they could, like, there's both. So younger students go in every day and go home, and older students stay. I might be wrong.
It says it isn't a boarding school like Hogwarts.
Okay.
So students are transported there every day on a flock of giant birds.
Okay. I want to ride on a giant bird, just saying.
I think that'd be pretty cool. So it's pretty awesome if you enjoy living, at home. You like the comforts of home instead of having to live at school. I would never went to a boarding school, so I'm not sure how I'd feel about it. Apparently the pros are they're really into Quidditch there. Like Britain's not into Quidditch, except they seriously are.
Well, do you know how Quidditch came to Mahotokoro?
I don't.
So, apparently, a band of foolhardy Hogwarts students were trying to circumnavigate the globe on inadequate brooms, and they were blown off course and were rescued by wizards from Mahotokoro. They stayed long enough to teach their Japanese counterparts the idea of Quidditch, and they lived to regret it, as every member of the Japanese Quidditch team and the current Champions League attribute their prowess to grueling training that they are given at Mahotokoro, where they practice over the turbulent seas, forcing them to keep an eye out not only for bludgers, but also for planes from the Muggle air base on a neighbouring island.
Interesting. Well, I mean, there you go. That's how they came to know about Quidditch. But it says that they're so passionate about Quidditch, the entire Japanese team cites their time at the school as the reason for them being so darn good.
Yep, which is, yeah.
Another pro of this, pupils receive enchanted robes that grow in size as they get older and change color the more experienced you get.
Yep, they go from pink to gold.
Yep. Saves you a bit of cash not having to buy new robe every year. So the Weasleys would benefit from this type of scene. There's pretty much a con that I think is a good thing. If you ever engage in quote unquote illegal practices, Voldemort type dark magic, your robes will betray you and turn white, and you're instantly expelled and put on trial.
What qualifies as dark magic?
It says Voldemort levels of dark magic.
Okay,
killing
so that's
people.
pretty bad.
So
okay.
The unforgivable curses and making Horcruxes. I think that works.
Sectum Semper is okay.
I mean, Voldemort never used it, as far as we know. Yeah, and you mentioned that there was a Muggle air base nearby, so you had to be careful of planes and such.
Yep.
Is there anything further about that school that you could find?
Nothing. No. We pretty much covered it. The knowledge we have of these schools isn't extensive.
Yeah, so we're basically just whatever's on Pottermore, and the wiki is where we're getting all this stuff.
Yeah. So where are we off to next?
We are off to Uganda. So, Africa.
Africa.
And the school there is Ugadwo. I don't.
Wagadu.
It's Uagadou.
It's Wagadu.
Wagadu, of course it is.
The U is a W.
Of course. Because we can't all speak the same language or pronounce things even remotely the same.
No.
So, Wagadu.
That would be boring.
It'd be boring if everybody spoke the same language. Anywho, it says that it is in the mountains of the moon, somewhere in Uganda. Apparently, you'll figure it out. If you have to go there, they'll make you get there somehow.
Yeah.
The reason you should go there, it's the largest of all the wizarding schools, which is interesting.
Yes.
I guess since it is on a big continent, it would lend itself to that. Big country, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also a good place for, it says, it's a good place for all-arounders, promotes wizarding prowess in astronomy, alchemy, and transfiguration.
Yes, apparently it's where magic originated. So, yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, but yeah. Sorry, you keep going. This is your episode.
No, I like to have your input. The school's got a bit of reputation for the quality of its younger students. Apparently, the kids are real smart, and many of them are already adept at being anime guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a pretty good reason to go there. If you want to turn into a animal at will, you should probably go there.
Yeah.
Because apparently they excel in having that kind of magic go on. Says the con is, although African witches and wizards do use their wands, the school encourages spells to be cast with hand gestures.
Yes.
So it's very non-wand related magic.
Yes. The wand is a European invention, and though it has been adopted as a useful tool, they continue to teach magic by hand.
And I think that that's actually I wouldn't put that as a con. That would actually be a pretty good thing, because if you lose your wand, you're out of luck. But if you don't use a wand, you can just kind of just do it.
Yeah. Apparently, this whole thing gives Wagadu students a sturdy line of defense when accused of breaking the International Statute of Secrecy. I was only waving. I never meant for his chin to fall off.
I mean, it happens. Nobody wants to lose their chin, but you can't really help it sometimes.
Another fun one is, at a recent international symposium of animagi, the Wagadu school team attracted a lot of press when their exhibition of synchronized transformation caused a near riot. Many older and more experienced witches and wizards felt threatened by 14-year-olds who could turn at will into elephants and cheetahs, and a formal complaint was lodged with the International Confederation of Wizards by Adrian Tutley, Animagus gerbil.
A gerbil. Oh man. I mean, if somebody has a problem with a 14-year-old being able to turn into an elephant, the problem is really theirs, not the kid that can turn into such an animal.
Exactly. The kid's talented.
Get over yourself, people. The other thing is, if you're accepted into Wagadu, dream messengers will appear to you as you sleep and leave an inscribed stone in your hand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No other
So
school
it just
uses
says,
that method.
hey, you're accepted.
That'll be a fun one to explain if you're Muggle-born.
Yeah, there's this weird stone that says that I'm going to a wizard school. That works for me, I guess.
The one more fact I found is an ex-student produced at Wagadu was, I'm going to definitely ruin this name, Babajide Akingbade, and he or she succeeded Albus Dumbledore as Supreme Mugwump of the International Confederation of Wizards.
Huh. Interesting. Well, that's nice.
Mm,
We never really got who replaced him in all of his extracurricular activities, so that's cool.
yeah. Eh,
That was the the only other thing you found about
that's the
that
only other
school.
thing, unfortunately.
Okay. Next, we're gonna go to Brazil.
Okay, looking for the school. What's it called?
Castelo.
Found it.
Do they pronounce X's in
We're about to find
Brazil?
out. Wait. No! Castel or Bruxu.
Bruxu. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Because I was pretty sure they didn't pronounce X's. I mean, not as we pronounce them, at least. So this is hidden deep within the rainforest because where else would you have it in Brazil if it's not in the middle of the rainforest? Why you should go there? It's in South Africa. A lot of its students thrive in nature-based subjects such as herbology and magic zoology. So if you're green-fingered or you like animals, that's where you'd want to go.
Yep.
So Hagrid would have liked this school, is basically what it comes down to. And Newt, for that matter. The pros, a lot of the students, ex-students are famous, which bodes well. Labadius Borage, the author of Advanced Potion Making. Joao Coelho, captain of the world-renowned Quidditch team, the Tarapoto Tree Skimmers. They both went there, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, we know exactly who those people are.
Yep. That's my favorite Quidditch team, actually.
Yeah. I was gonna say that they wear
Tree skimmers.
bright green robes. I like that, bright green robes. I look good in green.
Are you trying to tell us something, Mel?
I haven't decided on a school yet. I'm just saying.
Oh. Well, no, green being associated with some schoolhouses that
Oh no.
we don't
I'm a
speak
Gryffindor.
much of. Understood. That's what you tell me, at least. Cons of this school: furry spirit beings called Caipora protect the school's grounds, but are known to be mischievous. So they say it's basically like 100 of mini peeves flying all over the place.
Yes, the headmistress Benedita Boredo was once heard to laugh heartily on an exchange visit to Hogwarts when Armando Dipper complained of Peeves, and she offered to send him Caipora for the Forbidden Forest to show you what trouble really is. This offer was not accepted.
I wouldn't. I'm on Armando's side. We don't need more mess than we already have.
Exactly.
We've got enough going on as it is.
Yep.
One more thing, the school has a popular exchange student program.
Yes.
We talked about that in the books.
Yes.
Ron said that Bill, I think, had a pen pal in Brazil.
Yes, and they couldn't afford to send Bill to Brazil, so his pen pal turned a bit nasty.
First hat.
Yeah.
Made his ears shrivel up.
That's really mean.
So there's got to be a lot of like mixing of magics and cultures in that school. So it could be pretty diverse.
That if you don't come to Australia, I might just do the same thing.
Send me a cursed hat that'll make my ears shrivel up?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I already have the the plane ticket booked, and I can't get a refund, so I'm kind of obligated now.
And Australia gave you a
Unless
visa?
I can't leave the country because unless the country just collapses and I can't go anywhere.
I'll take you as a refugee.
Appreciate it, Mel. I always have a place to go. So, the next school. I don't need any help pronouncing this one. It is Beauxbatons Academy of Magic.
Oh, oui,
and
oui.
It holds a special place in my heart.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Mel and I are Patreon supporters of a Harry Potter uh, unspoiled type podcast called Tales from Godric's Hollow, and we are both headmistresses. Mel is obviously the headmistress of Hogwarts, and I am the headmistress of Beauxbaton because I love it. So.
It's not because I got in first and got Hogwarts?
Nope. Nope. Not at all. Anywho, Beauxbaton resembles a beautiful chateau and is located somewhere in the Pyrenees. So in southern France. Which is beautiful, I hear. I've never actually been to France, but I would like to go at some point.
I have been. France is really nice. I was only in Paris, but yeah.
Well, if you've been to Paris, you've been everywhere. So I hear. I don't know. I don't know if that's
no,
true.
apparently the countryside is very beautiful.
Yes,
and by the sounds of it,
go.
Beauxbaton is as well. They're surrounded by a formal garden and lawns created out of the mountainous landscape by magic.
Mel, me and you should go to France at some point. It should be one of our trips that we take.
We'll put it on the list.
Add it. Why you should go there? If you like your magic served with a dash of good food, basically, this is the school that you want to go to. It welcomes a multitude of students from different nationalities, mostly French, but they do have Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, people from Luxembourg, and Belgium.
Luxembourgians.
Because there you go. I wasn't going to try to pronounce it. That's why we have you. Yeah, so because there's a bunch of different, little countries right around there, that's why they have all these different people, which is also a good thing. You should have diversity in the different schools that you have. Go ahead.
They said that the stunning castle and grounds for the school were partly funded by Nicholas and Perenelle Flamel, who met at Beauxbaton in their youth.
Never heard of them.
No idea who they are.
Just random people.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw it out there.
No, we do know that Nicholas Flamel met his wife there, and he created the, Philosopher's or Sorcerer's Stone, depending on which books you read, and he can turn any metal into pure gold, and he can live forever.
Yep.
So, that's probably why they were able to donate so much.
I was going to say that there is intense rivalry between Beauxbaton and Hogwarts, but it's cordial. And in the Triwizard Tournament, Beauxbaton has won 62 times, but Hogwarts 63.
Ooh. So close. So, did Harry and Cedric's win count as 2?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Because there were 2 of them. They both technically won.
Yeah.
Even though only one of them made it back.
Yeah, they both touched the cup.
I wonder if that would count as a double victory. Don't know. We never got an answer to that.
Yeah.
It says the pros are the castle's stunning, and it features a magical fountain believed to have healing and beautifying properties. Apparently that's something you want as part of your school.
If you watch the movies, I'm pretty sure all the students bathe in the damn fountain.
Well, the movies are misleading.
Yes.
Because the movies make it seem like it's an all-girls school, but we do get confirmation that there are boys that come from Beauxbaton in the books.
Yeah.
Same can be said for Durmstrang.
Yes.
Because they are proclaimed as an all-boys school, even though there are girls. Anywho, pretty much there are super pretty girls that come from Beauxbaton in movies, is basically what Mel's saying.
Yeah.
Apparently there's not much bad about this school. It says cons are not much, but apparently judging by Fleur, the pampered ways of the lifestyle may leave you guilty of complaining about other schools' general showboating. and general showboating. You're just gonna like show off and be like, oh, but our castle's so much better and our food's so much better and blah blah blah, and people are gonna get sick of you talking about it.
There are some famous ex-students apart from the Flamels that I've just found. Oh God, French is not a language I'm willing to dive into as much as other ones. Vincent Duc de Treffel Piquess escaped the terror by casting a concealment charm on his neck and pretending that his head had already been cut off. I'm guessing they're talking about the French Revolution, maybe?
That sounds right.
Luc Millefield... I gave up. The infamous pastry maker and muggle poisoner.
Infamous pastry maker?
Yes, I'm guessing he made pastries and poisoned muggles with them.
All right.
Fleur Delacour, who fought in the world-famous Battle for Hogwarts and was awarded medals of bravery both from the French and British ministries. And
look at her.
Headmistress Olympe Maxime, the brilliant, elegant, and undeniably awe-inspiring half-giantess.
I mean, yeah, she's pretty cool.
Anything else you want to add for Beauxbaton?
So just talks about anything else I should know. Nicholas Flamel. Yep, that's... Apparently the fountain that we talked about is named after Nicholas Flamel and his wife. Because they kind of are about staying young forever, so that would make sense.
Yep.
So, next we have Durmstrang Institute. And we've all heard about Durmstrang. It's got a terrible reputation. We talked about, Grindelwald earlier, and he went there.
Yes.
Yes, he did. So where is it at? Don't really know. It's believed to be in Northern Europe because their uniforms include fur hats. That's all we got. But it's probably somewhere in, Bulgaria or Russia type place. We don't really know. Never really told. And apparently, memory charms are used to erase any recollection of its whereabouts.
Yep.
So you visit there, and then it gets wiped from your memory, so you can never find it again. Which I guess makes sense, I guess.
How do students find it?
Why should... that's the question for the ages right there. Don't know. Why should you go there? There are interesting stories. That's about all it says, because it says you'll certainly hear a few interesting stories, seeing as the school expelled Gellert Grindelwald. So if you want some cool stories about a guy that became basically a wizarding terrorist, it's the school for you, guys.
Yeah, twice in its history it fell under the stewardship of wizards of dubious allegiance or nefarious intent. So the first was Harfang Munter, and he took over shortly after the mysterious death of its founder, the witch Nerida Volchanova. So he established its reputation for dueling, and remains an impressive part of the curriculum today. And the second dark period was under Igor Kakarov, who...
Wonder who that is.
Yeah, no. But he was an ex-Death Eater, served Lord Voldemort. Yeah, he encouraged a culture of fear and intimidation among students, and during this period, many parents withdrew their children from Durmstrang.
Good for them. I would have too. The pros of this school is, if you're not a fan of the academics, the school is known for embracing the more physical side of wizardry, such as dueling and, martial magic.
Yep.
And it also has a cool ship.
Yeah. It's such a cool boat. Before I go on to another positive, I'm going to bring us down to a negative for a moment. The most infamous ex-pupil is Gellert Grindelwald. who is said to be one of the most dangerous wizards of the 20th century.
I heard he only missed out on the top spot because Voldemort came around.
But in good news, it has undergone a renaissance and has produced such international greats as Quidditch star Victor Crumb.
Woo, Crumb!
Crumb,
That's
Crumb,
it.
Crumb,
That's all I
Crumb,
got.
Crumb, 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 Crumb.
That's all I got.
Yep. Okay, so
got
where
the
are
one
we off
good
to
guy.
next?
That was the only pro. The cons, bad reputation, the ex-Death Eater, ex-Headmaster. They're often, it also sounds pretty cold because the Durmstrang students are often shrouded in furs. Yep. So basically it's got a dark reputation and it's cold. So,
Cool.
And it also, just anything else you should know, Victor Crumb came from there.
Crumb, 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 Crumb.
So,
I know the sports ball.
Next one we have is... You do? All of the sports ball?
Just the Quidditch.
Oh, okay. That's the only sports ball you know.
Yep.
So, next we have Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and... Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
USA!
If I could speak, this would work a lot better. It is. It is in Mount Greylock, USA. If you want to know more about Ilvermorny, there is a whole story of its origins and stuff on Pottermore. It's actually pretty interesting. You should check it out.
And in depth. But we will just do a brief talk.
Yes, we don't want to. I don't want to go and read the whole entire thing.
No, but it's in Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere in the northeast, Massachusetts or Maine or something like that.
Yeah.
One of those, northeast states, basically. New England states, I should say. It's kind of a shoot-off of Hogwarts, because the founder always wished she could go to Hogwarts. So it's a boarding school, and it has the same type of... It says it has the same type of living style as Hogwarts.
Wasn't it founded by a Slytherin?
Well, she never went to Hogwarts.
Oh.
But she was raised by a woman by the last name of Gaunt, if that rings any bells.
None.
No? Never heard of him before?
Never heard of him.
No, but you can read into great detail about the founder if you read the Ilvermorny backstory on Pottermore. So it is very interesting, but she was not allowed to go to Hogwarts, basically.
Oh, okay. So she made her own school.
Yeah, she did it all on her own. The prose has a rich history and proves that anyone can make it if they believe in themselves. The school also has cool houses you can join, represented by magical creatures, Wampus, Pugwudgie, Thunderbird, and Horned Serpent. So it's basically the same, house type system as Hogwarts has.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit different. It's explained in the story, but there are basically statues of these 4 magical creatures, and their eyes light up if the student standing in front of them, if that house wants them. And if more than one picked you, you get to choose which one you go to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, cons, there's a lot apparently to love about it, and it's a democratic spirit. We suppose you won't like the school's robes if you don't like the color blue, because everyone wears blue robes, apparently.
There you go. I like blue. I like lots of colors.
Mm-hmm. So, next, Mel, it is Hogwarts. So would you like to talk about your school?
Why not? Give me a second. Let me scroll up. Not that I can't talk about for hours without assistance. So Hogwarts is in the UK. Specifically, it's somewhere in Scotland, though they're a bit cagey about exactly where it is. Um, it is surrounded by mountains, and on one side is the Forbidden Forest, which is
Indeed.
filled with all different kinds of creatures. They are also situated near Hogsmeade, which is the only all-wizard town in Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
What else? There's the lake, which has a giant squid. Shout out to Josh and his giant squid love.
Squidly.
Squidly. Like Ilvermorny, we have 4 houses, they being Gryffindor, the best, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. And you are sorted into your houses using a magical hat that talks.
Mm-hmm.
Students go to Hogwarts by catching a train from London, and it takes them there every year, and they can go home during holidays. And of course, at the end of the year, some of them decide to stay for holidays such as Christmas, but everyone goes home over the summer because that's what the school does. It closes down. Yep. Everyone gets a break.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to point out the flaw. Do kids from Scotland have to get on the train?
That was going to be my question, too.
It's just like, we're going to London so you can catch a train back to Scotland. What?
Yeah, where we live.
Or what if a kid
if
is from Hogsmeade?
Right. What does the kid do then? They just walk up to school like, yo, I'm here.
Hogwarts has a school song. Hogwarts, Hogwarts, Hoggy Warty Hogwarts, teach us something please. Is it extract?
Uh-huh. I love this song.
But yeah, so
we only
Hogwarts,
ever sing it once, but it's very important.
Some notable features. Hogwarts has a Whomping Willow planted in the school grounds, and some students know that it actually conceals a secret passageway that takes them to the Shrieking Shack in Hogsmeade.
What?
They are also home to a poltergeist known as Peeves. And when we talked about the school in Brazil, we noted that they offered them their own mischievous creatures to show them what real mischief was.
Yeah, they didn't want all that.
No. So yeah, lots going on at Hogwarts, and of course they've had many notable students. There was Albus Dumbledore, who did so many things I could sit here for an entire episode and talk about them, which we have done. Hermione Granger, who was just this amazing smart girl who went on to do amazing things and help save the world. And this guy, apparently he's famous, Harry Potter or something.
Huh? Never heard of him.
No, me either, but apparently he went there and he was pretty famous. And this other guy, Tom Riddle.
Interesting.
He apparently was bad.
Good old Tom.
Yeah.
I don't think he did much. Not sure why they're so bent out of shape about him.
No, I know. He was just like a little naughty.
Yeah. And they also had this murderous basilisk at some point, so there's that.
Yeah. Some weird stuff.
But someone took care of it.
Yeah, it just vanished. It was cool. No one died. Except Myrtle. No one cares about Myrtle.
Oh, R.I.P.
So yeah, that's Hogwarts.
Yeah, and that is the last school that we have information on, I believe. Unless you have any more. I feel like there's one that got skipped. Yeah, there's one that I found on the wiki that is in Russia.
Oh.
And
it's
I am going... I know. And there's not much about it. It basically just says that they're really good at potions. And it is... Okay, I'm gonna try it. Koldovstorets? Koldovstorets.
I'm loving the Russian accent you put on every time you try to say it. Do it again.
Sorry. No. Now you're making fun of me. I'm gonna be so self-conscious about it.
Can you send it to me on Skype? And I'll give it a go. It doesn't have a pronunciation, does it?
It has Russian pronunciation. It might. No, I don't see anything.
Okay, just
Give me just one second.
send me the word, and I'm going to give it a go. I'll put on,
Okay.
I'll see if I can put on a Groot voice. Not Groot, Grood. Whatever the Despicable Me character is.
I don't know. I've never seen Despicable Me. Yeah, I sent you the link to the wiki page.
Yep, I'm just looking at it. Kolvoltroste. Kolvolstrost.
You can't say it without trying to do a Russian accent, okay?
Koldostrovst. I'm going Koldostrovst.
Okay. Apparently they play a version of Quidditch where they fly on uprooted trees.
Because why not?
Because they can.
Exactly.
And they compete in Wizarding School's Potion Championships, and they're super good at it.
That
Yeah.
sounds to me like mathletes for some reason.
Yeah, it says they're only mentioned in Book of Potions Wonder Book. I don't know.
Okay.
Seems weird. Name of the school is likely derived from the Russian words blah blah blah, spelt meaning witchcraft and creator.
There you go.
So the creator of magic, or palace of witchcraft, because another version, the second word is different, meaning palace. So yeah, that's all we got on the Russian school. This is apparently mentioned once in some random book that I've never heard of. So,
I think we need a school in Australia. There has to be one, surely.
Well, they figure you'll just catch a ride on a big old bird and go to Japan.
I've got to bring this up. Now, anybody who doesn't want to hear some foul language, I'd say skip forward by about 30 seconds. About now. So, there's this whole thing going on when they were talking about how no-mag is the word for non-magical people in the US, and they talk about what would it be in Australia, and we decided muggo. Everyone agrees it should be muggo. And there's this great thing on Tumblr, and it says you can just see an Australian wizard in thongs, shorts, a tank top, and carrying VB shouting out, "Oi, you're such a muggo, you wandless cunt."
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, that's Australia. Hopefully now everybody's coming back with us. And anyone who who failed to skip, sorry about the foul language, but seriously, Australian wizards would be the best.
Sure. If you say so.
Okay. So, JK, Australian Wizarding School, please.
Maybe that's one of the ones we just haven't heard about yet.
Yeah.
Maybe she's working on it. Because you can't just expect every wizard in Australia to catch a bird.
Exactly. We need our school. But anyway, I believe we are going to decide what school we want to go to.
Yes, that is the question. If you could pick one of the schools that we just went over to go to, which one would you want to go to?
That is a hard one. What have you picked?
Because the obvious answer is Hogwarts, because we know so much about it.
Yeah.
But I actually picked a different one.
I thought you would.
And I don't think it's what you think I picked. You probably think I went with Bobaton.
No, actually, I knew you wouldn't,
but
because I knew that you would think that I would think that you would pick it. So I was like, she's not going to go Bobaton.
What one do you think I picked?
Japan?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ouagadougou.
Oh.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because of the whole anime guy thing and being able to do wandless magic. I think it's pretty sweet.
That is pretty cool. Oh, now you've changed my answer now that you've pointed that out. I'm like, wandless magic and anime guy. Because I was going to pick Japan, But now, Wagadu is sounding pretty good. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Wagadu, do a student exchange with Japan.
Sounds like a good option.
That's my plan. I always wanted to do a student exchange.
Yeah, I never did it, but I kind of wish I had, you know.
We
So
had
we picked the
exchange
same
kids at my
school?
Yeah, technically, yes.
That. So exciting.
Are we going to play a game this week?
Sure. We could either do a random ship and we don't really have much to put any, restrictions on it, or we can do another Marry Fuck Kill that I can just come up with real quick.
Let's do Marry Fuck Kill.
Okay. So, we're going to do this. Everyone knows what this is. We have three people, and you have to have a beautiful wedding and marry one of them and have a one-night stand with another, and then, knock off the one that you don't particularly care for.
Yep.
So, we're going to pick the 3 champions from the Tri-Wizard tournament that were not Harry Potter. So we have Cedric Diggory from Hogwarts.
Yep.
We have Fleur Delacour from Beauxbaton. And we have Victor Crumb from Durmstrang. So, Mel, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go ahead?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I am going to marry Cedric Diggory. He's cute, he's humble, and he's just nice. This is presuming he survived, by the way. Otherwise, I'm married to a corpse.
Right.
I'm going to have a one-night stand with Victor Crumb, because I think it would be a nice one-night stand. That's what you do with, like, sports stars, right? You have one-night stands with them.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that just means Fleur has to die. Sorry, Fleur, but I'll kiss her before killing her, because she's very pretty.
She is very pretty. Well, I was undecided on what I was going to do until you went, so here we go. I am going to actually marry Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the way he's portrayed in the movies. I think he's super cute. And the guy that plays him, when he grew up a little bit, he was even cuter. And he's got, fame and fortune from his Quidditch days.
I see. You're one of those people.
I'm not always one of those people, but in this particular instance, yes, I am. I am going to have a one-night stand with Fleur, actually, because she's very, very pretty, like we already discussed. She is part Vila, so I understand where that's coming from. And unfortunately, I have to kill Cedric Diggory.
Again.
Because he already died, so...
No loss.
Yeah, the world doesn't change much. And I'm not just marrying Victor for his fortune. That's just something that is
his fortune and
plus.
his looks.
I mean, I'm sure he's got a great personality. Him and Hermione apparently have lots to talk about, so I understand.
Yep.
So is that all we have for today?
I believe
Mel?
so. You're the one running the episode, my dear.
I'm in charge. So
Yes.
There you go, everybody.
Yes,
thanks
ma'am.
for joining us. As like being called ma'am. Actually, I don't like being called ma'am. If customers call me ma'am, I get very offended.
Anything you want, ma'am.
Yeah, you're just gonna do it because I don't like it. Anywho, moving on. Thanks again for joining us, guys. It's always great to come here and discuss Harry Potter because that's what we live for. We didn't really discuss Harry Potter all that much, but we wouldn't have all these great wizarding schools to talk about if it wasn't for the Harry Potter series. So shout out JK, we love you, and all of the stuff that you've given us past your 7 books and a play that we don't really like to discuss. So,
And your two,
you can
and
check us.
your movies.
Yes,
She
and
wrote for
movies.
Fantastic Beasts, yeah.
We're very excited about the new installment of that. So you can check us out on social media. We are on Facebook, Witch Weekly Podcast. Yes. We're on Twitter at Witch Weekly Cast. We don't really tweet a lot from that account, but we should really start to.
I want to give you all the Witch Weekly stuff. I swear you'd be better at it than me.
I mean, I could probably do that. That would probably work out really well. We have the email of witchweeklypodcast@gmail.com. You can actually go to our podcast network website, mmpodcastnetwork.com. You could also email at that one, mmpodcastnetwork@gmail.com. And as always, you can hit us up on Twitter individually. You can find me at rissaru312. And Mel, where can the people hit you up at?
I am on Twitter as m_a_bicket, BICKET.
Awesome. So, guys, again, thank you for all that you do. We want to hear all of your stories about what wizarding school you would want to go to. So please email us, tweet us, send us a Facebook message, whatever you can to let us know which of these schools you would want to go to the most. And as always, everybody remember, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to tune in to Witch Weekly.